Today on the Daily Scoop podcast from the Scoop News Group. With a new executive order, Trump orders a review of the Biden administration's AI work and the creation of a new AI action plan. And the DOD is considering tactical drones to accompany troops Trump is surging to the border. It's Friday, January 24th, 2025. Welcome to the Daily Scoop podcast, where you'll hear the latest news and trends facing government leaders. I'm the host of the Daily Scoop podcast, Billy Mitchell. Thanks so much for joining me. Let's dive into the day's top headlines. An executive order signed by President Donald Trump on Thursday mandates a review of agency activities stemming from the Biden administration's now-revoked executive order on artificial intelligence and calls for the creation of a new plan of action. The brief order establishes that it is the policy of the U.S. to, quote, sustain and enhance America's global AI dominance in order to promote human flourishing, economic competitiveness, and national security. It sets in motion steps for the new administration as it looks to craft its own approach to the growing technology. President Joe Biden's order, which was among the first items Trump revoked after returning to the White House, had been focused on using the technology while also managing its safety and security risks. But Trump and Republicans took issue with it, saying it would hinder AI development. And the Republican Party platform called it dangerous. The new order also specifically says the country needs AI systems, quote, free from ideological bias or engineered social agendas to maintain U.S. leadership. That idea follows comments from Republicans, such as Senator Ted Cruz of Texas, that said AI safety standards under the Biden administration were woke. In other news today, defense leaders are weighing their options to deploy various types of military drones at the U.S.-Mexico border for information collecting and surveillance operations in support of the Trump administration's move to rapidly expand troop presence there. A senior military official at an off-camera briefing at the Pentagon said that, quote, a lot of the ground units now have tactical unmanned aerial systems, or UAS, that they might bring in. On the condition of anonymity, they and another top defense official took questions from the media regarding the Defense Department's first official statement about how its components plan to rapidly respond to President Donald Trump's executive mandates to tighten security at America's southern border with the support of the U.S. military. The press briefing marked the first at the Pentagon since Trump re-entered office Monday, and it was attended by some of his administration's first political appointees to trickle into the five-sided building. For more news at the intersection of the federal government and technology, make sure to visit fedscoop.com. Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of the Daily Scoop podcast, available on all podcast platforms. If you've already rated the podcast on your platform of choice, thanks so much. High ratings and good reviews of the show help more people to find it. The Daily Scoop podcast is a production of the Scoop News Group in Washington, D.C. Adam Butler and Carlin Fisher help put the show together, and the entire Scoop News Group team contributes. We'll be back next week with more top headlines. Until then, I'm your host, Billy Mitchell. Thanks so much for listening.